Yo, Poppy, what's good? You got the ink ready? Alright, cool, bet. Let's do this for these guards start walking again. We got about an hour and a half. We get 2 characters in. Alright. What up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Now, where I'm at is a nice day. And y'all almost got this video outside. But it's hot as all hell. And well, the air condition feels a lot better inside. So, we're going to do this inside. Now, I know y'all saw that thumbnail, and y'all like, what is he talking about now? Prison ink, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm going to tell y'all my first tattoo experience in prison. The ink. I'm going to debunk a rumor about the ink and let you know the process of getting a tattoo in prison. Now, first of all, you must know the right person. You can't go to just anybody. I found that out. You can't just go to anybody and get a tattoo just because they say they can tattoo. You got to see their work. You got to know that they can actually make it look the way it's supposed to. You ain't walking out of there with stick figures on your arms and nonsense like that. So find the right tattoo artist first. There's many of them in there, and many of them claim to be. So find the person you're going to use for real before you commit to doing it. Find out how much you have to pay for it before a gun even touches your skin. Find out how much it's going to cost you. Don't let nobody trick you into owing them for work that they didn't do. Again, y'all, do not get ripped off. Because they ain't free. You definitely got to pay for it. Now, let's talk about the ink. Now, I don't know what some of y'all know about prison, but you can get ink from many different sources. One rumor that I used to hear a lot, that used to make me crack up laughing. I even heard it when I was in there. People on the outside used to think that inmates would somehow steal rubber, like rubber tires and all types of rubber, black rubber, and melt it down and make ink. Then I heard people saying that we melt down the trays from the mess hall. We steal the lunchroom trays and melt them down. Come on, y'all. Did that even sound like it makes sense? Rubber? You gonna melt rubber and put it, be able to reuse it like that as ink? I don't think so. It's gonna disintegrate. And the trays, same thing. They would just melt to a goo. That's all completely false, y'all. Now, as far as rubber goes, I will say this. Rubber from shoes, from the soles, that can be used. Now, all you're doing is getting some soot. You need some baby oil, something like that to burn, like the rubber, chest pieces. And you can also, normally you probably safer sticking with black and white ink from the chest pieces. But if you want to get funky, a lot of people use different food colorings that they derive from the candy, like the Skittles. The same stuff that dye the boys' hair and make their lipstick, that also makes color for tattoos. So you mix that with the baby oil or some kind of petroleum, you burn soot, and boom, next thing you know, you got ink. And now you got tats all over the place. But people, what they don't tell you about tattoos in prison, if you get caught with a new tattoo, that's a new charge. Because whether or not they find the gun that tattooed your skin, they know you have a new mark on your body. So a lot of guys would get tattoos on their arms, upper arms, or their chest, or their legs, or their back, or, where they won't get caught. Because if you go out to the mess hall, or you go up to get your commissary bag, and you got new tats all over your face, and your forehead, and your cheek, and all that. You got new joints popping up on your neck, left and right, that you can't explain, that this a-hole officer he know you ain't have that when you came to this prison. Nah, he ain't had that. That's brand new. And they inspect and they see. Now, if you notice my tattoo in the thumbnail, yeah, that's my tattoo, y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all what that says. You can look it up if you feel like looking up the characters. That tattoo took me hours of research to find those characters, right? I had to research and find exactly what each one meant before I got it and put it together, the sentence. Now, being that it goes all the way down my spine, I could only get one, possibly two characters done per session. Why? Not because it hurt, because you are going to bleed a little bit. And they're going to have to patch you up the best they can. Now, we make prison band-aids out of sheets and cotton or whatever we could put together. A little petroleum jelly. Boom. We don't really got no way to stick it on there. You got to figure something out. Tie some sheets together, make a string, you got your bandage. But that's a makeshift bandage that probably will bleed through your clothing. Now, like I said, if you want to go to mess hall, which is 3 times a day, or go to work, or go to the library, or anything like that, you cannot be seen with physical damage to your body. That means you can't go with a black eye, you can't go with your knuckles bloody, you can't go with your back bloody. So, either you didn't go to mess hall to eat, you just stayed in the pod until your scabs, scab over and they stop bleeding and all that, or you take your chance. And if you take your chance, you might end up in lockup. So, those are the consequences that you face going into it. And even worse than that, I mean, nobody's dumb enough to hide a tattoo gun in their own cell when they just got a tattoo. But if you are that dumb, they're probably going to come and flip your cell once they figure out that you got a new tattoo. And they might even come and flip the whole pod if you get pinched. Then you got to deal with that because everybody looking at you like, dang, man, you ain't had to go to mess hall, man. You could have just stayed in the tent and asked somebody for some soups or something. Now you're getting everybody crisscrossed. We got phones. We got weapons. We got all types of stuff going on in the pod. And you know this. Now they're looking at you like, dang, bro, somebody got to pay for this, bro. Somebody got to pay for this. You might have to get out of here. You might can't stay here with us. Nah, man. Nah. Now, deciding what your tattoo should be, you should take your time, especially in prison. You should get something that's not going to offend everybody or nobody. You should get something that means something to you, but not very offensive to the next man, if you get what I'm saying. So don't get racist tattoos. Don't get, crazy tattoos. Now, everybody gonna do what they want to do. And the most common thing to do in prison is get gang tattoos. That's a given. Like I said, some people get them face tats in there and they regret it because it's not the safest, and you also know that going in. So if you get an infection or something like that and you got some fake ink all stuck up in, the wrong kind of combination, and it's messing up your pores and your skin can't breathe, what you think? Your skin starts to die. Your skin starts to bubble up and turn different colors, green, and yeah. That's when you need medical attention. And once you need that medical attention, the next stop for you is that hole, my guy. Now, people. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now, I'll tell you what the tattoo on my back means. And then I'm going to tell you about my first tat in prison. So, the one on my back, that one is done really good. He did a great job on that one. Took a lot of time. A lot of ink, a lot of sessions. If you notice, the characters are all nice and thick. We don't got no skinny lines. They're all nice and thick outline. It means the one you fear is before you. Don't let that go over your head, y'all. The one you fear is before you. Now, that was the last tattoo I got. And like I said, it took a lot of time. So that one took over almost a year to get finished in total. Because like I said, I had to get it outlined one session at a time, let it heal up a little, go back, get it colored in. The coloring is what took so long. We did all of the outlines first. That took maybe about 2 months. Each one, the color in, took about 5, maybe even 6 weeks, because how thick it is. So you're talking about that took pretty much the rest of the year. But like I said, it came out really nice, and I'm happy with that one. Shout out to the poppy that did that. I can't put his name out there because he is still down. Now, my first tattoo, I showed it to y'all. I'm not going to make it too big. That first one up top that you could barely make out what it says. That's my first tattoo. That was the tester, y'all. To see if this first joker that I ran into even knew how to use the tattoo gun correctly. Well, it wasn't the usage of the gun. It was his skills. Dude really couldn't draw. He was more of a tracer. And he couldn't get a simple name right. The letters are all jumbled. I saw that after it healed up. Gave him his pat some miles. Say, never again, my boy. You won't be touching my skin again. Pause. Now, once you start getting tats in prison, it's just as addictive as on the street. You want to get more and more and more. So, sometimes, and by the way, dude was digging in my skin like he ain't know how to fade right. It was horrible. Now, this tattoo right here, I got that one professionally done by old shit from Black Ink. Came out fire. I got the footage on that too. I might release that and let y'all see how a professional tattoo is. I ain't even feel this tattoo at all. All the rest of my tattoos, I felt them. Felt like knife stabbing, digging in my skin. But you in prison. What you gonna do? So, one time, I seen a dude get caught for getting a tattoo. Because he got a tattoo on his neck, and he tried to patch it up. And right away, they don't give out Band-Aids in prison. You have to explain every little scratch, every injury. So this fool tried to go to mess hall with a patched up neck. He ain't even make it to that tray, y'all. Somebody got his tray that day. COs pulled him aside real quick. Whoa, inmate. What's going on with your neck there? You got to fight? What's going on? Nah. Ain't no fight. I'm good. Let me go eat, officer. I'm good. I'm starving, man. Let me go eat. Nah. We got to see what's going on with that neck. Please remove that. And it looks like you cut up prison-issue sheets to make that makeshift bandage. That's a charge in itself for destruction. They're like, oh, come on, man. Come on. I just scratched myself. Officer. Pull that thing off of his neck. Oh, that's a big scratch, inmate. Well, I tell you what. We're going to take you to the hole and let that scratch heal up. And we'll send you to the board, and they'll tell you your punishment. Because that scratch right there probably just brought you a good 6 months of dead time, buddy. Yeah. You can't even defile your own body in prison. Nah, they're responsible for keeping you healthy. Y'all don't know that. Y'all do not know that. Prison is a business, y'all. They're responsible for keeping you healthy and, most importantly, alive. So when somebody gets unalived in prison, when somebody gets hurt up and have to get airlifted out, who do you think paying for that? The prison got paid for that. Because you was their responsibility. And they failed not only you, but they failed your family. Your family is supposed to know that you're safe. You're doing your time for committing your crime. But that does not by any means mean you have to suffer unjustly. Y'all don't want to hear it though. Hold up, y'all. Hold up. I got one question for y'all real quick. Do any of y'all like Pokemon? I like Pokemon. If you do, what's your favorite Pokemon? Me? Well, this guy right here. You see this guy? This guy It's called Gengar. And he's my favorite because he's a straight up demon. What's your favorite Pokemon? Get in the comment box. Let me know. And don't get cute in the comment box either, y'all. Alright. By the way, shout out to Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. I heard he was a phenomenal tattoo artist. Jay, I want a tattoo. Anybody watching this, tell Jay Williams, JS Corner want a tattoo. Let me know what's up, Jay. Alright. If y'all haven't done so already, now is probably a great time to like, share, and hype this video, y'all. Get in the comment box. Let me know what you think. Do you have gel tattoos? Are you scared to get a tattoo? Do you want a tattoo? What's your favorite color? And what kind of tattoos do you like? I got a lot of tattoos. Alright, back to the story. Another common mistake people make in prison when getting tattoos is not securing your own needles. Yeah, whether you gotta go through the guards, because there are some guards that will bring you in what you need, even certain medicines, A&D, ointment, all of that. But unless you know for a fact that the tattoo artist is a very cleanly person, he not gonna cut corners because needles ain't free, and he not gonna tattoo somebody else, wipe it off, and then tattoo you. Get your own needle. Yeah. Whatever you're using for a needle, get your own. Bring it to that tattoo artist. Now, if you want to keep your needle and keep cleaning your own needle, that's on you. Me, I paid for a brand new needle every single time. For each coloring session, for each sketching session. I wasn't playing no games. Because, yeah, y'all, STDs and diseases run rapid in the prison. And popping a vein or sharing a needle for a tattoo is one of the easiest ways to contract something besides getting assaulted by a booty bandit. Now, once you got all of those things checked off, hey man, if you got a lot of time to do, I would go ahead and say it's an experience that you can't leave prison without. You gotta get a tattoo in prison. Now, one last thing before I let y'all go. If you think that you're gonna pull some slick stuff and get noticeable tattoos, even if it's the day before you about to get released, you go get tattoos over your eyebrows. You get them on your cheek. Get them on your... all of that. Because you like, hey, when I get out there, them tattoos going to cost a lot of money. They cost cheaper in here. So let me go ahead and get some work done right now before I leave. Alright. As soon as they come tell you to pack it up, it's time for you to leave, they're going to walk you down and they're going to see all of that stuff. And when they see it, the conversation changes. You have not been released yet. You are still under custody till a certain time. You're not due to be released for a few hours. They're going to take you and do a lot of stuff with you before they let you go. They're going to make sure that you don't have anything you're not supposed to be leaving there with. And also, one thing that I didn't know that nobody even told me, and you know what? I can't even be mad because it's not like the people I was in there with ever went home. They've been in there for years too. So I probably should have wrote a letter or got in contact with somebody back then and told them what happened to me on the very day I got released. We had a going away party for me when I got released. So when I say a going away party in prison, we was putting it in the air. We was drinking Seagram's, gin and juice, all that. While they piss test me in the morning before I left. Now, thanks be, I don't know if it's because we was rolling little small joints in Black and Mild, and they was only real thin, and it wasn't that much of the active chemical. Maybe the trees back then weren't as strong as they are now. But I did not test positive. I got my jean outfit, put it on, and yeah, I saw somebody, not in my video, but I saw some idiot say something about they don't got jeans in prison. If you don't have anybody send you clothes, they send you home in a whole jean outfit, my guy. I should have saved it. I had prison jeans, prison jean jacket, and a white t-shirt. That's how I went home. Yeah. So, I don't know how I passed that piss test, y'all, but I did, and I went home. And even though I had to report to parole the following week, I went home and I chiefed probably a whole zip to the head. Happy to be home. I went home and rolled up fatties. Blowing big green. And I kept giving them hot ones. That's a whole nother story. If y'all want to hear that story, let me know in the comment box, y'all. I got a story about how I kept giving parole and probation hot ones for 6 years straight. Made me pull the dust off of that. Let me know if y'all want to hear about it. I got that in the vault for y'all. Alright, listen. That's going to be it for this story. This is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and I'm out.